everyone. So I'm here at the Washington National Cathedral. You can see it in the background there. It's so tall, it's hard to get in the frame. I do have permission to film here. I received in advance. So I asked the church if it was okay for me to film here, and they said it was. I am going to be taking a video today. It's not going to be the live stream video that I have done in the past, but it'll be similar to the Basilica video I did in DC as well, where it's just a video. It's going to be kind of like a live video, but it is going to be pre-recorded because I'm worried about the connection in the building. As you can see, this is a pretty large building. It's stone. So I'm a little concerned about the connection in there once I get inside. So that's why I'm taking just a regular video. So I wanted to show this. I know I can't flip the video when I'm taking a pre-recorded video instead of a live video. On the live, I can usually flip it, but I'm not able to do that with this type of video. So what I'm going to do is just show you outside like this, and then I'm going to go ahead and flip the camera. And we'll go ahead and take a look inside. Alright, so I have flipped the camera, and that's the view of the outside. So we'll go ahead and start our inside tour. We'll go ahead and take a look inside. So there's a really beautiful garden here as well, and I'm hoping I can get to that too. I have with me today both the Yashica TL Super and I have the Olympus Stylus. Let me try to pull those out. I already got my ticket from inside. You do have to purchase tickets for a tour, and I will show you the reason for that in actually just a few seconds. But first, I wanted to show, I got my Olympus Stylus here. It was my dad's. He's graciously allowing me to have this camera and use it. So, oh, I gotta get a picture of this. Alright. Oh, it's so big I can't get it in the frame. On these old cameras, you can't really zoom easily, so, but yeah, get a quick picture of that. Alright, I got one. Can't really zoom in much, but I want to get some more pictures probably later. I want to save some of my film. I did bring an extra roll of film with me, but I want to go ahead and get to the inside. It does close at 5, so it's afternoon here. So this is what I was going to tell you guys about. So it says, restoring a cathedral takes centuries-old skill and a bit of modern technology. A large pinnacle can take up to 6 months to carve by hand. Using 3D models, robotic tools, rough cut the stone, completing about 75% of the work in a fraction of the time. The rough stones are then brought to the cathedral, where our skilled stone carvers finish the details by hand before installation on the building. This blend of medieval craftsmanship and modern innovation is part of what makes Washington National Cathedral a singular landmark in the nation's capital. So, as you can see here, it says, learn more about earthquake restoration at the cathedral. So in 2011, if you are local to the DMV, you will know that there was an earthquake, and I think it was like magnitude 5. Don't quote me, you might want to fact check me on that. But it actually caused, I believe, $35 million of damage to the cathedral. And it has taken them a very long time to recover from that. So these tours actually used to be free, but they are charging just, I think, to help with some of those costs to repair the cathedral. I'll talk about this more inside, but the cathedral is not steel. It's actually made of Indiana limestone, and I'll talk more about that inside. There's brick, Indiana limestone, stuff like that, right? But it's not steel, so the earthquake was able to do quite a bit of damage. I'm not sure. I guess these might be some of the, I guess you would call them pinnacles. Let's see if it says, yeah, what happened here. A rare, oh, I was right. So a rare, let's zoom in so you can read it. 5.8 earthquake hit Washington, D.C. in 2011, causing, $40 million. I thought it was 35. Okay, $40 million in damage to the cathedral. Stones cracked, pinnacles twisted, but thankfully nobody was injured. After more than a decade of meticulous repairs, we're entering the final and most difficult phase, restoring the central tower. These stones will be returned to the central tower. So that's these stones. They're going to be returned to the center tower, I guess. Some damage has already been patched and carved. Most damaged pieces will be replaced with new stones shaped by a robot carver, and that was what I read to you on the other side. So I do want to say, okay, I'm going to to see how much this lets me zoom in. See these little guys? What is the difference between a grotesque and a gargoyle? A gargoyle has water coming out of its mouth, and a grotesque does not. So there are all these little gargoyles and grotesques. I guess they would be grotesque around the building, not gargoyles because they don't have water coming out of their mouth. But the purpose of these in architecture was in the old days to repel, I guess, like demons and evil spirits, because they were supposed to like look really scary, so they would like scare them off. So there's another one. There's actually a Darth Vader grotesque on the church as well. I'm gonna walk around while I'm talking about this, but I'm not gonna try to find that for time purposes because I want to get inside. But you can Google it, and it's also really hard to see because I think it's like really high up there, because all those little things, I think those are like little grotesque statues. But basically the Darth Vader was put on there because in I believe it's 1980 or 1981, there was a competition for elementary schoolers, so it was children only, were allowed to enter, and they made drawings, right, of the different ideas they had for grotesque to be put on National Cathedral. And I guess one of the ones that was selected was Darth Vader, so they put that on the cathedral. So somewhere here, I don't know where, they have a sign that will direct you if you're here so that you can see it. But there is a Darth Vader gargoyle in this cathedral. I'm trying not to get people in it. So yeah, kind of interesting, right? So I did a little bit of research in advance, because I actually have never been inside. I've only been on the lawn. I've never been inside, other than just like really quick to get my ticket before this. And I went in there for like a few minutes. I did see some of the stuff. I walked around for a few minutes, but not like fully, obviously. So this is gonna be my first time inside. Try not to get people in it. So I do want to point out, on the outside, you'll see us again, I guess, on the inside, but a Latin cross has short arms. So it has like short arms and then like the longer center piece of the cross, right? So the National Cathedral is actually laid out in the shape of a Latin cross. So it has two arms that are shorter and then the longer. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. So I'm trying to cover the lens just for a moment because I'm trying to avoid getting people in the image. Obviously it's going to be a little bit unavoidable, but I'm trying to prevent that as much as possible. But so yeah, that's the layout. If you look at it from an aerial view, should be a Latin cross. So let's go ahead and go inside. Really, really heavy wooden doors. They're so
Gotta check your bag.
okay, sure.
Just have to open it for me.
Sure.
So
Yeah, there's a camera in there that might be good.
All right. Yeah, you're good. All right.
Okay,
She'll help you at the desk.
Okay. I already came in. I have a ticket. Let me show you.
Awesome, you're all set.
Okay, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Okay, I'm going to turn around the camera. I had this ticket, so you have to show that to get in. As I mentioned earlier, my hair is all over my face. 1 second. As I mentioned earlier, you do have to pay for tickets. I got the self-guided tour, so it was about $17, I believe. So yeah, okay, let's turn it around so you guys can see the inside here. Got some beautiful stained glass work. So this cathedral has a mixture of modern and obviously like kind of historical references. I think it's some of the artwork. So this is really gorgeous. This is like amazing. But so as you can see, a lot of Gothic architecture. I think it's almost, I would guess, don't quote me on this, but it's like all Gothic. So what is Gothic architecture, right? Let me explain. The pointed arches here, they're pointed, see that? The rose window, that's what that's called, because it kind of is like petals outward like a rose, and that is absolutely breathtaking. That is a staple of Gothic architecture, is the rose window. And then what is another example of this, right? Let's think about it. The Milan Duomo, which I have been to, which is incredible. I believe that's an example of Gothic architecture. And the Cathedral of Notre Dame, I think there was some like disaster that happened there. I don't remember, it was a few years ago, but I think they also had an earthquake or something like that happened where it got damaged. So you all might remember that cathedral being in the news. But the Cathedral of Notre Dame is another good example of Gothic architecture as well. I'm backing up so you can see the rose window. It's really beautiful. I don't remember what it is. Someone would have to fact check me. I almost want to say it's like that little circle down at the bottom, but there's a paperweight from someone that, like, I want to say they passed away. I don't remember the full story of what, I actually don't even know the full story of what it is, but there's like a paperweight in there that someone had put in there. So there's so many little Easter eggs in the artwork here at the cathedral. There's so many that I think it's hard to even know all of them, even if you do a lot of study. But I'm going to try to point out some of the ones that I came across in my research. So we have some more stained glass. We have all these beautiful stained glass windows. I almost want to say there's 200, but don't quote me on that because I'm unsure. So we have these beautiful, obviously the pointed arches. Of course, I'm sure you guys can imagine I love Gothic architecture. So, all right, here we have one of the staple highlights of the cathedral. So I want to talk about this for a moment. All right. Okay, so I'm going to try to zoom in so you can see this. So this is, I believe, the space window. And as you can tell, there's no text on it. A lot of these windows, obviously, actually all of them probably have no text on them, I think. Again, fact check me, but visually, these windows tell the story through pictures. I want to say the reason for that is in Gothic architecture back in the day, they tried to tell stories through pictures because many were not able to read. So it was a way that they could tell stories through the pictures, right? But this window, right? See that little circle right there? That's actually a piece of, this is like a, I don't know the name, I think it's like a lunar window, but that little circle right there is a piece of, there's inside that circle, there's a piece of lunar basalt, which is a rock that's from the moon. And these little lines, I believe, are the path of, I want to say the Apollo 11, but it's like a path of some kind of spaceship when it went to the moon. And I know I probably should know that from history class, but I forgot, so I think it's the Apollo 11, but don't quote me. But it's basically representing like man's journey to the moon. So I believe in the distance, I think that that is Earth if you look at my finger. And I think that maybe this is like the moon, so the moon is closer than the Earth. Anyways, it's supposed to be the lunar journey, and I think it's really cool that there's a piece of moonstone in there. I call it moonstone, but lunar basalt. So that's kind of really cool. So I wanted to show that. So I was going to show this one, but there's people taking pictures, so I'll come back to that. But that was a really pretty stained glass window as well. So there's so many here. I don't know all the stories of all of these. Like, some of them aren't religious. So the point of the National Cathedral, please fact check me on this, but I believe it was originally George Washington's idea to have a church that like everybody could come to. And here's another beautiful view of that rose window. So yeah, it was the goal to have, kind of like a church everyone could come to. But the construction for this church, I think, they started planning, or ideas were floating around, I guess, in the 1800s, late 1800s, I believe. But the construction for the church did not start until, I believe, 1907. And in 1907, Theodore Roosevelt, I believe he was president at the time. Oh, look. I didn't even know there was another rose window, so there's another one. Okay, so maybe the paperweight isn't in that other one. Maybe it's in this one. But anyways, that's another rose window, so that's so cool. Wow, I didn't even know there was another one there. Here's another one. It's incredible. Okay, wow. So construction began, I believe, in 1907, and on the far east side of the National Cathedral. So let's stand in the center. Again, I'm trying to not get people in it, but it's really unavoidable. There's so many people here. I do have permission to film, so unfortunately there's not much I can do about that, but here's another beautiful view. I think that this is the west side, but I think this is the east side. And Theodore Roosevelt put the cornerstone in, I think, on the far east side. Again, fact check me, but I'm pretty sure he put the cornerstone in on the east side for the construction of the church. So it began in 1907, and like, this is going to be hard to believe, but construction finished in 1990. Isn't that insane? I think that's 83 years. Somebody do the math for me, but I think that's 83 years. And that's a very, 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 very long time. But they just finished, I think it was the front towers, so I guess out there, in 1990. So yeah, very, very long time. I'm gonna go up there, but first I wanna get another picture. I'm gonna wait until this person's done taking their picture, and then I'm gonna get one with my Olympus stylus. So let's try to not get people in the image as much as I can. So, all right, I'm just gonna get a quick picture here. This is what I'm using. Let's see, you get a vertical shot here. Oh, someone's walking in it. I don't know if you guys can see these people walking in it. Hold on. Someone's like walking right in the middle. Okay, you know what? Let me just angle it up. Oh, flash. Guys, I've been struggling with this. Alright. Flash is off. And 1, 2, 3. Okay, cool. People are walking like right in it, guys. Alright, hold on. Oh no, that was my last picture. Okay. Well, I have more. See, it rewinds itself. I'm so fascinated by that. Anyways. Alright, well, you know what, guys? I'm out of film, but that's okay because I have an emergency backup roll of film that I brought with me. And I have the Yashica TL Super, so we're good. You know, as I said my last stream, Yashica TL is, Super is from the 1970s. Anyways, this one's from 1991, so guess what? I think 1 year after this church was completed, that's when that camera's from. Anyways, this is, I guess, one of the organs. Maybe it's the digital organ, and I'm gonna explain why they have a digital organ in 1 second here, but I want to show you this room first before I go into that. So obviously here, I guess this is the pulpit over here, and I am very impressed by that. The carving in there is really beautiful. I do wonder what these small chairs are for. They look really small, almost like student desks. So it makes me wonder if like those are for children, for some kind of like children's choir, or like maybe like children's circle. Oh, this is a quiet area. Okay, so I'm not gonna talk during this part, but I'm just gonna walk through because it says quiet. So I'm just angling it away so that I'm not getting people in it as much as possible. You can see these tapestries. I believe that these tapestries were donated by the Lars Anderson family. If you guys have been looking at my Instagram, you'll remember I went to, let me zoom out. I guess it won't be. I went to Art in Bloom recently. Actually, let me talk about it in a second. I don't see anyone praying in here, but I just want to be quiet. I'll talk about it in a second. But just remember, those are from Lars Anderson. Alright. This is gorgeous. I'm gonna get a film picture. Oh wait, I'm out of film. Okay. I'll come back. Jesus. That looks like the wedding at Cana.
We're gonna head down to Christian.
Maybe the angel to Mary. I was blocking a path, so I wanted to go ahead and keep moving. This must be the main sanctuary area. I don't know if this is a quiet area. Let me see what the sign says. Okay, it says, this is the great choir and high altar. Did you know Christ in majesty is carved from different stone than the rest of the altarpiece? No, I did not know that. Okay. There's so much I want to say in this room. Where do I even begin? I don't think this is a reserved quiet area, but I'm going to speak really softly because I want to be respectful, just in case. But I'm going to back up here so you can see this. Okay. That looks like a ceiling, but it's not a ceiling. This is a temporary scaffold, okay? And they printed a picture right here because they're doing work on the organ. So there's an empty space, I believe it's right there, where the organ was. The organ needed maintenance, so they sent it off a few years ago. I think we're about halfway through because it's supposed to come back, I think, in 2028. They sent it off in 2024 for repairs, I guess restoration, right? And the organ that they're using now is a digital organ. So they just left the scaffold up because they used that, I think, to remove it, to send it off to Connecticut for repairs. But this scaffold up here is temporary right now, and they're just leaving that up for a few years. And that's why I guess they tried to be aesthetically pleasing about it and put a picture. But the organ that they sent off for repairs in Connecticut is going to take 4 years to repair it. So they're going to get it back, but right now they're using a digital one. So that's why there's like an empty space right there, but this used to be where the organ is. This is where the choir sits, I believe. So the choir, I believe they staff with students from the school. So I think there's several schools here. Like there's a boys' school and a girls' school, and I think they staff the choir with some professionals as well as like some people from the school. So pretty cool. And I'm gonna face the camera down so I'm not getting people in it as much as possible. All right. And there's a lot of detailed wood carving, and I love that. I really, really love that. Okay, so I want to show this as well. So here we have, I don't know who each one of them is, like individually, but these are supposed to be, I believe, the 12 apostles. Okay, so they're the disciples, apostles. Okay, so there's 12 of them in this kneeling area. And I want to show one thing to you guys. See how there's one right here? They're all along this whole thing, except for there's one missing here. And the reason there's one missing here, I believe, is because it represents Judas as one of the, because you know Judas betrayed Jesus, so that one's empty for him. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm counting another one. I'm facing the camera down. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Did I count the Judas one? I don't want to go back, but there should be 11, including the blank one. It would be 12, I believe, because they should be carved here because the empty one represents Judas, and there was obviously 12 disciples. So, okay. So the last thing I want to talk about here, I'm going to zoom in here. I want to show this. I actually have 2 more things I want to talk about. So these sculptures, I believe they're like relatively life-size. Don't quote me on that. I mean, look at this lady, actually. Look at that lady. Okay, and then compare that lady to like those sculptures. Okay. So if you think about that, I think they are life-size because they were like as big as the lady was, like height-wise. So I think oh, look at, there she is again. Okay, so like, yeah. And And I believe she's an employee, so I don't feel really bad about, yeah, I mean, I'm trying to obviously I'm trying to avoid getting people in it, but it's really hard because, like, it's really crowded. But you get my point, to show the example that they're the same height, so pretty life size. So yeah, really detailed carvings, really beautiful. And that's that. Okay. All right, and so this is the bishop's chair. So what makes a cathedral is, so cathedra is Latin for chair. So the chair, you can have a small church that's a cathedral. If you put the bishop's chair in it, it makes it a cathedral, because cathedra is Latin for chair. Sorry, I'm trying to be quiet. I think there's somebody talking. So that's what makes a cathedral is having the bishop's chair in it, because again, cathedra is Latin for chair. So the bishop's chair being in here makes it kind of like that head of like the area where the bishop resides. And basically a bishop, from my understanding, it's like almost like a regional manager of like the churches. So it's kind of interesting in that way. So they're in charge of, the person who's currently the bishop is actually a woman. It's the first woman. They did have another woman that was temporary, but there was the current person that's in is a woman, and she, I guess, is considered like the first female bishop maybe of this area, I think. But yeah, definitely fact check me on that. And then as you can see, they have like the palms. I think that's they're getting ready for Palm Sunday. But yeah, I thought that was really interesting, that cathedra was Latin for chair, and that's what makes a cathedral. But so yeah, that's the bishop. Let's see. Okay, another thing I want to say, I'm going to go ahead and move away from this room because there's a lot of commotion going on. I feel like they're like getting ready for something, and I want to go ahead and keep moving on so that we can see everything, because I also want to come back and get pictures. Hold on, let me be quiet because, gosh, almost slipped. There's really slick right there. Those tapestries, I believe, were donated. There are tapestries in here that were donated by the Lars Anderson family. And the Lars Anderson family they were the owners of that house I went to on my Instagram. Follow me on Instagram. I'm icomposemusic. Follow me on Insta. If you're not watching this on Insta, I don't think I'm going to be able to upload this on Insta, but they were the owners of that house that I went to, called the Lars Anderson House, obviously, for Art and Bloom. So, really cool. Oh, I guess you can go in here. This must be a little side place. Oh, look. What's this? Needlepoint. Book of Remembrance, Donors and Gifts. So speaking of donors, oh look, this looks like real calligraphy. Wow. That's awesome. All Hallows Guild, Book of Remembrance, Donors and Gifts. Wow. Okay, so COVID-19 Memorial, Book of Remembrance. Oh, these must be maybe the people that either donated during COVID or maybe they passed away. It says in memory of, so they must have passed away. Okay, yeah, it does. Yeah, these say in memory, so they must have passed on. COVID was a really hard time. And here's another one, in grateful memory of Frank Billings Kellogg. Oh, that's they have a house like Post. They have a house in DC, like the Post House or something, right? This isn't Kellogg Post. Anyways, I feel like I want to say that's the Kellogg brand, like the cereal, but maybe not. I don't know. Okay, this is such a good picture. I really wanted to switch out my film, but I'm going to do it later so I can come back here. I hope I'll have enough time. Oh, here's another little sculpture. There's so many little things to see. To the glory of God, in memory of William Jarvis Boardman. Okay, so it looks like these people donated some of these stained glass artwork installations, and it's so hard to see because it's so detailed, but look at how detailed these are. Now these do have words on it, so I guess I was wrong. Some of them do have words, but Yeah, I'm not sure what all of these are, but I was also going to just finish and say that Lars Anderson family, they were, I think the wife was like a diplomat, and so like they had a lot of money. So I think they donated like $500,000, which was like crazy for the time, to build like, I forget what they used that money to build, but they built like I think it was a chapel or something. Don't quote me, but
Hi everyone. So I had to mute this quick portion of the video, but I'll provide a fact here about Henry White. So he was a diplomat that helped sign the Treaty of Versailles, and this effectively ended the state of war between Germany and the Allied powers, and of course this refers to World War I. So I just wanted to provide that quick fact since I had to mute anyways, and let's get back to the video.
so the Lars Anderson, oh, I love this one. This is really pretty. Okay, but anyways, let me finish what I was trying to say. Lars Anderson, because I've been talking about that for so long. They donate a lot. So they donated those tapestries. I was trying to say in there, but it was really quiet. But they donated those tapestries, and they collected art from all around the world. So the Lars Anderson house is really gorgeous, and they collect so many like beautiful things in that house, like a lot of European art, and they have tapestries in there as well. But when they donated to the cathedral, they did it anonymously, so they didn't want anyone to know who they were and who donated it until after their death, and then that's when the church would also, I guess, get the tapestries, I think. So it was kind of like an anonymous donation that like no one would know about until they had passed. So yeah, this is so interesting because doesn't this look almost like anime or Pixar, like cartoon, right? It doesn't look like a typical like gothic medieval stained glass window. But I think that's like kind of the cool thing is that like they make it to 1963. Interesting. That doesn't even look 1960s. That's what's so interesting about that. It almost looks like 1990s because that style of like eye shape. It's like really interesting. Folger, I wonder if that's like the Folger that did the coffee. I'm sure not everyone is famous. I don't know why I'm just like jumping to that conclusion, I guess because like some of them are, but okay. But yeah, so that's kind of cool. I thought that was really like, I was like, whoa, that's so cool when I saw that. Let me go to the other side because I had seen the Lars Anderson house, and I didn't know that not only did they donate here, but and I was just there, and I had just posted about it so you guys could see it. Oh, I guess this is holy water. But they are buried here, guys. They are buried here. I did not know that. Woodrow Wilson is also buried here. So I'll talk about that when I get to that. Let's take a look here at the Lego Cathedral. This is the gift shop, but I want to show this. So this enters into the gift shop, but oh, it's really quiet. Okay, the Lego Cathedral here is it's like it's supposed to be, I guess, like a replica, and it's being designed by, I guess it's an architect in Portugal, and piece by piece, people are making small donations, or I guess large ones, and they're slowly building this replica. And it's kind of cool. They have the bulldozer there. That's kind of cute. But anyways, I just wanted to show that too. If you guys like that kind of thing, if you're interested in toys and Legos, let me So, hey, take a look at this frame and tell me if you see the Latin cross. I held it up as high as I could. They got the stained glass windows too. Wow. They must be really tiny Legos. Like, I'm not a Lego fanatic, so like, here. They even have what looks like the replica of the You Are Here. See the You Are Here. That's so funny. And oh, I guess maybe this is them building the rose window. Wow, that's all Lego. Okay, there's a point where this becomes like fine art. Okay, so that was really cool. I wanted to show that. I actually remembered a lot from my research. Like, I only started researching this like either yesterday or maybe I researched a little bit the day before. But like, I'm so shocked. I retained a lot of information to share with you guys. I really love this. Like, something about these stained glass windows specifically, it's really beautiful to me. I think it's just the way they glow here. I'm trying to face the camera away from people so I don't get people in the shot. The way that the light shines through these stained glass windows is different, I'm sure, depending on the time of day, and we're here in late afternoon here. Okay, so this must be the Woodrow Wilson. Maybe it is, I don't know. Oh no, it's not. Wait. In loving memory of Edith Bowling Wilson. Maybe that's his wife. But there's people here, so I'm gonna come back because I'm trying not to get people in the shot, but I'll come back there. No foul play. What is that? Aspire to song, aspire. You guys can screenshot this. It's an American song by Elizabeth Alexander. I'm not sure what this is. Elizabeth Alexander, District Columbia native, spent her first chapter of her career teaching poetry, American history, and African American studies. She's a 2-time Pulitzer Prize finalist, and she read her poem Praise Song for the Day at Barack Obama's 2009 presidential inauguration. She is now president of the Mellon Foundation, pushing America to take a fresh look at our public monuments. Marshall has a way of depicting life in the Black community that reflects joy, sorrow, struggles, and is done in such a way that really highlights all of the aspects of African American community, of Black people and Black folk in this nation and this country. And that was said by Rose Marie Logan Duncan. I'm not sure who that person is, but you guys can screenshot that. Sorry, I was putting the camera down because someone was passing. So Lee Jackson windows contained scenes from the lives of both men, but also included images of Confederate battle flag. Memorial tablets beneath lauded the two men as Christian saints without fear and beyond reproach. Regardless of the original intentions, the windows were inconsistent with our mission to be a house of prayer for all people. The Confederate battle flag in particular has become a symbol of white supremacy and does not belong in a sacred space where everyone is welcomed. Here is what we know to be true. The windows were donated by the United Daughters of the Confederacy in 1953 as part of the campaign to legitimize the lost cause narrative. We also know the cathedral accepted the donation to help fund construction. And then there's a quote there for time purposes. I'm not going to read the whole thing. But I don't know. I'm kind of confused because I'm confused if, like, maybe these windows were originally here and they replaced with something else. I'm kind of confused because I don't see the original windows, but I do see these ones which look like they're civil rights windows because, like, you see how it says, like, fairness, and it's like, so I wonder if these were maybe here but they took them out, but I don't know. Maybe it's over here. No, this is something else. Okay, well, someone's definitely buried here because this looks like a tomb, but I don't know who it is. It says, I can't read. Oh no, it says Woodrow Wilson, 1856 to 1924. So this must be him. By the way, I think this is a Latin cross, but I think that this must be his tomb. And Woodrow Wilson, if you guys don't know, or if you're from other countries and aren't sure, he was a president, and he actually, he was a president during World War I, so I think he's considered like a war and peace president or war president or something. I don't know what the name is, but he, oh wait, let me show something else. One of these, I think, represents, like Princeton or something, because like I think he was like a president of Princeton University or something at Princeton or something. So I think like each of these resemble like something about his life. Maybe, again, don't quote me, but yeah, anyways, Woodrow Wilson, he was president during World War I. So during World War I, okay, do your own research, but like basically from my understanding, the reason for World War One. I guess this is a little chapel maybe. I think the reason for it was someone named Archduke, gosh, don't quote me, but I think his name was Archduke Ferdinand, was shot. And there was like a bunch of like drama with like some countries like Serbia, I think, and like Austria maybe, or Hungary, like places in Europe. And there's like a lot of debate around World War One, and like, so yeah, you can do your own research. But anyways, the point is, he was president during that war, and he was president when it, I think, started and ended. So that's like one thing about him to know. Keep in mind, this is World War One, not World War Two. World War Two was like the, you know, Germany and the Holocaust and Nazi, all that stuff. And like that one, I feel like we talked way more about that war in school, and it was a little bit easier and more straightforward to like understand. Like I feel like World War One is like really, there's like so much debate around it. It's kind of complicated, but basically just know like that Archduke Ferdinand guy, he was like assassinated or something, and that was like bad or dramatic or something. I don't know. He was like in charge of something, and it was not good for people. So I graduated a long time ago, guys. It's been a long time since I studied this stuff. This was just last night, me asking people real quick, so I'd be prepared for today. Okay, all right, let's go ahead and let's go downstairs and see what else is around. We're already at 40 minutes. I can believe it's still recording, because like I deleted the other video I took that was an hour long. So, all right, let's see, how do we go downstairs? I wonder if it was back here. But anyways, wait, what's this? Observation gallery, 7th floor. I wonder, can we go up there? Public, open for sightseeing. 7, observation gallery. Oh, view of the city. Let's do it, guys. Let's do it. All right. I did not know you could do this. Oh, there's gonna be people coming out. Hold on. All right, I'm going in. They said floor 7. This looks like a jail. Like, you know these windows in jail when they look in or whatever, or like a hospital, like solitary confinement? It literally looks like that. Anyways, let me put the camera, it's been a while. Oh wait, I can't, sorry. I gotta turn it around. So outfit of the day, I have my, it's so hard to do this because I can't see myself, but I have my red turtleneck. I love this color, and with matching lipstick and heels. And then I bought my boots. I wanted to dress warmly today because I knew today was going to be really cold. So, okay, so I don't know anything about this floor. Let's take a look and see what we see. Oh, that's the city. Oh look, the Washington Monument. Let me zoom in so you can see it. That's the Washington Monument. Did you know this is the highest point in the city? Only because if you can clearly see, right? You can clearly see this is kind of, well, maybe you can't, but it's kind of sloped, right? The Washington Monument is taller than this building, I believe, but this building is 200 feet, I believe, again, fact check me on all this, 200 feet above sea level, which makes it taller than the Washington Monument. So therefore it makes it, I believe, the highest point in the city because of it's a higher point above sea level, and that's why. But yeah, that's the Washington Monument. And then over here you've got, let me try to find the Capitol. It should be this, yep, there's the Capitol building. I used to work over near there. And that is, almost looks like the Key Bridge or something, but that is, but that's the Kennedy Center. So you guys saw that when I went to Georgetown. Do you remember that? That was when I went to Georgetown. I took a photo there, and I took a video for you guys to see that, and that's the Potomac River. Let's go and let's walk around and see what else we can see from other angles. I'm gonna do one more angle out here. That's really cool. Right, let's oh look, Southeast View, yep. Noma, Union Market, they've got a little market over there. Capitol Heights, Shaw used to go to a church near there. I haven't been to RFK Stadium yet. I could talk about all these different places, but they're just telling you the different places. You know, Capitol Hill, Rock Creek Park. They're just telling you all the different places that you can see from these windows. And you can see the other part of the church too. Sorry, excuse me. I'm trying not to get people in the video, guys. It's really hard. There's a lot of people here. Okay, so there's the part of the church, and look, they're doing some work on that. That's why there's some scaffolding. I feel like in DC they're always working on stuff. Oh look, this is so cute. You could have like your coffee here in the morning. That'd be cute. Okay. I mean, well, you probably couldn't. Are you even allowed to bring food in here? Anyways, that was cool. So that's an auditorium. It says authorized personnel only. And then let's see what's over here. Alright, let's see. Oh wow, you got a whole nother observation room. I think I'm just gonna have to come back here to take pictures because like I feel like there's so much to show you guys. Like I'm literally not even gonna have time to like take pictures. Okay, I feel like this would be really good for the Yashika. What do you guys think? I'm thinking yes, if I can get it out of my bag. Okay, hold on. I am getting my camera out. That's what I'm doing. Hold on. Okay. This is the Yashica TL Super. It's a 1970s camera. I got my Michael Kors bag today. All right. This is all manual. It's not as, so this is what it looks like. I'm gonna take a vertical shot. See how it like literally clicks like that, and then you have to take this and then you go like that, and then it rolls back around. Sorry about that, guys. I accidentally stopped the video, so I'm back now. Okay, so I was just taking a picture, but this is really pretty. It's gorgeous. And but yeah, with the Yashica TL Super, you have to like wind it every time, and then I was having such a problem with like the buttons sticking for a long time, but here's a more view. I was having such a problem with the buttons sticking for a long time. This is a really old camera. It was my grandfather's from the 1970s, and eventually like fixed itself. Like the button's working now, so I don't have an issue with it sticking. Now I'm worried if I say that I'm gonna jinx myself and then it's gonna break again and like not work, but it was like sticking for a while, but it's fixed now. So we're going to the other side. But yeah, it's kind of cool that like, you know, my grandpa gave me his camera and then my dad gave me his camera, and I can shoot with these different cameras and like have the experience of like viewing the world through what that generation would have seen, right, through cameras. So this is just neighborhoods and towns. So you can see Maryland from this area. So this was the Maryland side. Okay, so I think that we've seen enough of this. This is just, you know, really high up so you can see. So they do have bells. I haven't heard the bells go off, but they do have bells. Let's go down this elevator. I know this isn't the lift we came up in, but let's try this one. But they do have bells. I'd love to see them. I think you have to pay an extra tour fee to be able to like go up and I think see the bells. I don't think you're able to see the bells without going into that like tour. I think it's just $65, but I just decided you guys are already going to be seeing a lot today with this, so I'm just going to like keep it with this, just the regular sightseeing tour. But all right, let's see if there's anyone. Hopefully there's not. Okay, there's not. I just didn't want to get people in it. So do main level. But yeah, so I was like, we're already seeing so much today, so I think that's like more than enough. But yeah, if if you ever want to see the bells, you can come back. I'm hoping that I can hear them go off because I love bells. Like, I love hearing them. We heard them at the Basilica. It was like perfect timing. We heard them. So maybe we'll hear them today too, but we'll see. I'm gonna see if I have time to like go outside. We're gonna see the basement now though. So, oh wait, I wonder if I could totally go down to the basement. Hold on. Chapels and tours, access. Let me see if I can figure out how to get to the basement. This is where we were before. Hold on, I'm gonna ask somebody that maybe that works here. Do you know how to get to the basement?
Yeah, the crypt?
Yeah.
Yes, so if you go on this first aisle right here, if you go all the way down, you're going to St. Mary's. On the left-hand side, there's a set of stairs going down, and those are the crypt.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Okay, so it was all the way where we were before. Okay, here we go again. We can see this since we're in here. I wonder what time it is. Do you have the time?
3:43.
Oh, thank you so much. Okay, so we have a good amount of time left because I definitely want to show the gardens if I have time, but I also want to get some pictures too. So what I might do is like stop the video and then stitch some parts of the video together. Just take some pictures because I want to get some pictures on my phone too. I always have appreciated like this kind of architecture. I went to the Duomo in Milan and it was gorgeous, and I loved that church. There's so many beautiful Duomos in Italy. So there's some wood up there, really pretty. So this church, actually, I don't know if I said this yet. Remember the last church we went to was Catholic? This church is Episcopalian. But the Episcopalian Church did not pay for this to be built. It was a nonprofit that paid for it to be built, and I believe it still owns that nonprofit still owns this building to this day, I believe. But it is the house of like the home of the Episcopalian bishop and I guess like the head of the diocese for this area. I'm not super well versed in how dioceses and bishops work, but like I am Protestant, but I'm not Episcopalian, so I don't know exactly how all of that works, but you can research that a little bit on your own if you're interested in learning about that. So this is James Edward Freeman. He was the third bishop of Washington, born July 24th, 1866. And yeah. Okay, so I guess that's where he's laid to rest. Okay, they do have Sunday. Oh, look, this is cool. Little stained glass in here too. That was kind of like a rectangle stained glass like we saw at the Basilica that I was telling you back in that video that reminded me of my old school. So it looks like they have some prayer candles as well. And it looks like prayer requests. Each day we offer prayers for those across our city, nation, and world. All are invited to submit requests for prayer. Prayers are offered at 2:30 p.m. Monday through Friday, so you can put your prayer request in here. Okay, so if you have a prayer request, put it in the comments and I'll pray for you too. Here's a prayer candle. You can light prayer candles if you have a prayer request too. I'm going to quickly show this. Actually, I'm not going to go inside because I think people are in there and I just want to be respectful, but we'll just show so you guys get to see, at least be able to see how pretty it is. It's really gorgeous. But yeah, I won't go in there right now. It looks like that's like a separated area where people have private prayer. Okay, so let's go down to the crypt. This is it. But yeah, if you have a prayer request, put it in the comments. I would love to pray for you. So yeah. Alright, I'm going to turn the camera myself because there's people coming down and I don't want to get people in the video. So there's a lot of people here. Okay. Just got a stained glass here. I'll zoom in so you guys can see. I am the Good Shepherd. The Lord is my shepherd, in honor or loving memory of, and there's some people's names. Moving out of the way so that other people can see. But I think that's based on Psalm 23. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He leadeth me into green pastures and by still waters. No, it's not an exact quote, but yeah. I should know that exactly, but okay, let's go in here. Okay, so this is... Wait, I feel like I need to be really quiet. It's so quiet in here. I don't see people praying, but I just want to feel like I need to be quiet because it's so quiet in here. Okay, so I heard that they do hold like services for other faiths in here. Like I've heard, again, don't quote me, but apparently I think they might hold like Jewish and Muslim gatherings in here. But don't quote me on that. That's what I heard. It looks like they got some announcements, and then so this is like a different kind of sanctuary chapel here. This is the crypt. It's on the lower level. Okay, let me zoom in so you can see some of this artwork. I always say don't quote me. That's really pretty detail. I always say don't quote me though because I'm always like, I don't want to say anything wrong. But yeah, I got a lot of details. That's what it looks like. I don't know if we're allowed to go up here. It looks like this is blocked off, but it looks like it does go around. See, it's blocked off, but it looks like it does go around in a circle. Let me see if I am allowed to go in on the other side. Nope. It's blocked off. That's okay though. You can still kind of see it. Okay. And so this chapel is different because it has some different types of architecture. I want to say it's the period that may have come before Gothic. It starts with the R. It's like, is it Romanesque? No. Renaissance. It's one of those that starts with art. I think it has a different kind of architecture mixed in, so it's not purely Gothic. So an example I think of this would be like, notice upstairs they had like little, I guess, designs on the columns, and this one doesn't. Now, one thing I want to point out, I forgot to point out upstairs, and I assume it's the same for these, but the ones upstairs, right? This is all Indiana limestone. And inside, I believe there's red bricks. It's not steel. It's red bricks. And then outside, they have this Indiana limestone that's kind of like acting as a outer layer, right? So because of that, that's why there was so much damage. I mentioned this outside, but that's why there was so much damage in that earthquake, because it's another window view. Here's another stained glass. There's just so many, I do believe what I said at the beginning is right now, because I truly think there are over 200 stained glass windows in here, because yeah, there's so many of them. Okay, look, it says, thou shalt go before the face of the Lord to prepare his ways. I think I read that correctly, yeah. Cool. All right. We still got some pointed domes. Well, not domes, pointed arches down here. So we still have that Gothic influence, but it is a little bit different. Like again, this doesn't have as much detailing on it. So I think, obviously the same for the basilica that we went to. I'm pretty sure that this was built first, and then they built the upper part later. That's a picture that's really cool, in a really cool frame. This is really hard to read, but this is like in loving memory of somebody. Of my grandfather, Dr. William Hollard Wilmer, 1940. Okay, I like that painting though. Let's learn more about it. The Gypsy Madonna. It's oil on canvas, styled in 1892 as Gypsy Madonna by German historian Karl Justi. And he was born in 1832, died in 1912. So I guess shortly after the construction of this church began in 1907. You guys can screenshot that if you want to learn more about that. Obviously, I won't have time to read everything. I do wonder if there was something in here at one point that's now gone, because there's like 4 of these here, but there's nothing in here, so it makes me wonder what was in here, but I'm not sure. It's just empty. Okay. These look like they're just, oh, well, actually, I think there's more stuff down there. Okay, wait. Let's go this way. Sorry. So loud. Wow. Okay, I didn't see any of this in my research, so I don't know what to say here. Other than, this is pretty. This is an orchid, obviously. So there's some beautiful mosaic work done here. It looks like someone was laid to rest here. I don't know who this person is, but somebody had passed away and they have their dog. Their little doggy. Who is it? The Lord is my strength and my song, and is become my salvation. That's from Psalms, I believe, or Psalms, I believe. Oh, it's somebody named Justine. I can barely read it, but it looks like he died in 1909. Oh, and it looks like there might be there was a son was buried too, I think. You guys will have to screenshot that and see. I don't know who that is. Okay, remember the mosaic work that we saw when I was at the Basilica? This is more mosaic work here. So that's more mosaic artwork. And it looks like there's several in here. Now this is very curved, right? Look at this, take a look. I'm gonna try to zoom out. Actually, well, let me, here. Look, it's curved, right? Isn't that more Romanesque? There's another mosaic. But Romanesque, I believe, is more curved. Gothic is known for pointed. Why is Gothic pointed? It's because it's a way that they built the structure to allow more light in. So yeah, that's what serves the purpose. And see, there's a more curved architecture. But yeah, so looks like that's blocked off. I wonder where that stairwell goes. But yeah, so the pointed, I mean, there's more pointed, so it's a mixture here, but like the pointed arches are Gothic, and the curved ones, I believe, are Romanesque, but don't quote me. There's so many different architecture styles. That looks like it almost looks like an opening of a restaurant. Oh, gift shop entrance on nave level. Okay, there's a lot of like memorial, ooh, this is pretty. There's a lot of memorial things here. I like this. There's a lot of people here though. It's hard to get people not in the shop. Okay. I don't know any of this stuff because I haven't been in this area. And I didn't see this when I was doing my research. Okay, I do know this area. Okay, so this, I'm gonna try not to get people in it. So let me just I'm gonna show this other side first. I'll zoom in into the top of it. So at the top, you can see, I believe those are supposed to be like kind of like stag's horns, like from a deer. Actually, maybe the whole head. Hold on, let me see. I can't see if there's a face on it, but the purpose of that in architecture and art, I guess, is to resemble guarding and like strength, like protecting those who have passed away, right? So I'm gonna get closer. I'm trying not to get people in it. So it resembles guarding those that I think have passed away, right? And why is that? Is because behind the gate, I think this is where they do like, I don't know the word for it, but like where people have passed away and I think they either entomb them there, they take care of their bodies there, they're buried there, I'm not sure, but this is like something with the deceased are behind this gate. And this resembles, again, guarding, because if you tried to climb over that, those are really sharp, and obviously you're not going to be able to do that. So that's why those are on top of there like that. It's not just for aesthetic. It's literally to like protect those, I guess, graves or those who have passed away. Let's try to get closer and see if there's a whole face on there. That might be a face. Yeah, that's a face. It's just a really like medieval face. That's very strange looking, that we're not used to, but it looks like someone's sticking out its tongue. So yeah, oh, and there's a tour group coming in here, so I am going to go ahead and move away from this area, but you guys get the point. That's what so behind that gate, that's what's behind there, and that's why that's like that. And so that's why you see all these, I mean, you see this in a lot of architecture where they have the points. It's to prevent people, I guess, from climbing over there. And I mean, you know, grave robbers are a thing, right? So there's a tapestry. I wonder if that's one of those Lars Anderson tapestries. Okay. There's so many little doors here. Like, it's almost like a castle, which I love. Like, I would love to live in a castle. There was another little area over there, but I'm not going over there because I think there was a sign there. I don't know what it is. There's all these little doors. I would love to live in a castle, though. Like, that would be so iconic. Chapel of the Good Shepherd. This is gonna be a long video, guys. Look at this, like there's so many little doors. And it looks so much like a castle too. You can see it. This must have knocked really hard against that wood at one point. I wonder what that light switch does. Oh, you know what? That light switch probably does that. That's probably what it does. Okay. Yeah. Oh, it's not a Bible. I thought it was going to be a Bible. What is this? Almighty and ever-living God, we humbly pray. Oh, it's a prayer book. Property, Washington. Oh, the Book of Common Prayer. Okay, yeah. It's clear glass. There's no color in it. I'm not sure what the flags are. They might be military flags. I don't know the military flags. Let's find out. Battle, born. I don't know what these are. Oh, I thought I saw a spider. That freaked me out. Okay. We stand divided, united. We stand divided. We fall. Salus palui prima lex esto. Now that is gonna be hard. Okay, 2000. And what is D? MDCCC exit. Okay, guys, I don't know what that is. That must be military. Oh, look, this looks like Native American. Yeah, I don't know what these are. Let's just. Oh God of peace, who has taught us that in returning and rest we shall be saved. In quietness and in confidence shall be our strength. By the might of thy Spirit lift us. We pray thee to thy presence, where we may be still and know that thou art God, through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen. John Wallace Suter, Cathedral Dean, 1944 through 1950. Wait, look at this door. I did not see this until now. Look at this door. That's cool. In praise of Jesus Christ, the Good Shepherd. This gate is given in honor of... Okay, so someone donated, yeah. I am the gate for the sheep. I came that they may have life and have it abundantly. The Gospel of John. That is a Bible verse. He came that we might have life more abundantly. Yeah. I hear that verse a lot in all of sermons and things. Amen. Okay. Let's keep going. Looks like this may lead to the exit of the church. So, oh, it's freezing. I can feel it. All right, let's try to angle the camera away from people so we're not getting... All right, where does this go? Are we allowed up here? It says clergy. That is cool, but I don't think we're allowed up there, so I don't want to go up there because I don't think we're supposed to be going up there. All right. Ooh. I have been in this area before. So my friend and I came here one day. We were like, I don't know what we were doing. I think we may have actually been at the Lars Anderson, I almost want to say. Maybe we toured the Lars Anderson. She was like, hey, we should stop by here. And so we did. and I had never been, and I was like, this is so cool. But I think the church was closed. That's a really cool. Let me try to get a. Yeah. But I think the church was closed, so we didn't get to go inside. But it was in the springtime, I believe, or maybe the summer, and the gardens were really beautiful. And that is what I'm going to show you now. But it's all the way around on the other side. But that's okay, because we'll go for like a really fun walk here. It looks like somebody's having. I want to say it's a quince. Looks like a quince dress, but I don't know. They don't look like they're that young enough for a quince. Maybe it's a prom. I'm not sure, but a lot of people come here to take pictures. I do think I'm almost positive that you have to have a permit. So I'm sure that they got a permit to take photos here. But you have to have like a permit and stuff. For me, I got special permission in advance to be able to record here. So that's why I'm recording. But yeah, you can't just like randomly come here with like a DSLR. So, I mean, I don't know, maybe you're allowed to do it if it's like for private use and you're not selling them. Cause like when people take pictures of just like weddings or engagement photos or quince, they're selling them often if they're professional photographers. So that's different than if you're just like, I think this church building's cool and I want to post it, on Insta, or just keep it for myself, make it my phone background or something. It's kind of different. Alright, so here we are in the front of the church. We got these cobblestones and I'm in heels, of course. So, because of course I'm in heels. But I'm trying to get far away from you guys so you can see. And that's the front, and that's what it looks like. And by the way, they have a lot of events here. They've got a lot of memorial services here. I don't want to name presidents because I'm not even sure which presidents. That is incredible. I mean, it looks like they're just floating out of the clouds. Like, I'm not sure what that represents. I probably should have done a little bit more research on the exterior before I got at least show it so you guys can see it. This is a little cafe over here. So like coffee and stuff. It is absolutely atrocious outside with this wind. So I'm gonna try to, hold on, there's a car. I'm gonna try to keep it, here, let me just go ahead and show you guys this. I'm gonna try to keep it relatively brief out here because it is really cold. Today is, oh, you can't go all the way around, but that's the cafe. And here's another angle of the church. But today is, what is today? March 28th. How do I remember that? It's because everything is on this day, guys. Like, they scheduled so much today. Every event in DC was today. They had, like, the kite festival thingy. Just, like, so much stuff was today. But, yeah, anyways, my hair is literally... I want to, like, turn it around to show you guys how bad this wind is. But I know I'm going to look really crazy. Alright, I'm going to do it. Look at the wind, how my hair is like, I don't even want to know how bad I look right now. I'll see that when I edit it later. Okay, so this is I believe it's the Bishop's Garden, yeah. That's the sign over there. Sorry, there's people, so I don't want to, but it said the Bishop's Garden. These doors. Alright. Oh, weeping willow. One of my favorite trees. I think it's weeping willow. Maybe it's a weeping cherry because it looks like it has some flowers. It's like a weeping cherry. I love this color, obviously. Love it. Oh, wait. I don't think I turned around the camera. Hold on. There you go. Sun's right in my eye. I didn't think I turned around the camera. I forgot you can't flip the camera. Like, I don't understand why you can't flip the camera on a pre-recorded video. Why would you not want to flip the camera? You know what I mean? Like, I have an old iPhone though. Maybe they fixed that in the newer versions. So yeah, this is the Bishop's Garden. It's way prettier, I'm sure, like when it's full spring. It's early spring right now. So again, March 28th. Peak bloom is supposed to be right now, so maybe we'll see some cherry blossoms. Beautiful arch here. And then we got some, it's Jesus. No, I'm unsure who that is, and that looks like Mary. But I kind of like, I wonder if that's the Holy Family. I kind of like the Holy Family images. I kind of like that. Okay, this is, looks like a cherry blossom. So there you go, guys. You can see the cherry blossoms in bloom. My hands are so dry, guys. Anyways, because they're so cold, too. So you got a lot of people like taking pictures and stuff. More cherry blossoms. I'm trying not to get too many people in it. And then you got the cherry blossoms in the cathedral right there, which is really gorgeous. Love that. And then looks like garden in memory of somebody that passed away. It looks like a child, honestly. So you got this little gazebo. Looks like there's a camera in there too. And then there's some parking over there. And there's the cathedral. Alright. So we'll just go this way. Of course, you see these cobblestones, and I got my heels on. But you gotta look good. You know what I mean? And also, it's a formal place. Like, I didn't want to come here in like sneakers because it's like a more formal place. But yeah, look, some daffodils here. And then looks like we got some tulips. And we got some grape hyacinth. And then some clary sage. I don't know what that is, but this looks like a juniper tree or some kind of cedar, but I think it's a juniper tree. Some kind of juniper. More grape hyacinth. So yeah, it's just a pretty little place. I can smell the grape hyacinth. I know that smell. It's so familiar because I had grape hyacinth in my yard. Oh, here's some. It looks like pansies. Let me zoom in so you guys can actually see this. Maybe it's irises. No, that's pansies. I think it's pansies. There were some more flowers. And there's the church. Here, let me zoom out. But yeah, growing up, I had a lot of flowers in my yard. My dad would plant a lot of flowers and stuff. And we had grape hyacinth. I don't know if my dad planted grape hyacinth or whether it was just like there when we got there, when we moved there, but they smell really nice. I always know that smell. This is interesting. What is this? Oh, do you see those things on the tree? It almost looks like it was some kind of fruit. Almost looks like little mini pomegranates. I know it's not, but maybe it is. Who knows? Have you guys ever seen a pomegranate in real life? Like not at the store, but like on a tree? Because I don't think I have. Like, where do those even grow? It's a winter fruit, so it must grow in the winter.
Once you like the view,
okay. Oh, and this is a perfect picture right here.
So then you go this button, and then
there you go, guys.
This one you push it once you like the
All
view.
right, so I think let me pause here. I'm gonna do a front-facing video. Okay, guys, so that's the cathedral. If you guys can see it, I'm doing a front-facing video. I'm gonna stitch all these together, and so you guys can actually have a cohesive video. But I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to show. I know this is already like a really long video, but yeah, I didn't even know it had like multiple rose windows. I'm gonna walk down here and see if I see anything else interesting. But thank you so much for joining, guys, or I guess watching this later. And oh look, one of my favorite birds, the mourning dove. I love the song of the mourning dove. So yeah, thank you so much for joining, guys, and I will see you next time. That is Washington National Cathedral. Also, one more thing is that this is called the Church of, I believe it's like the Basilica, or no, the Church of like St. Peter and St. Paul's. I think it's like for both of them, but they just have the name, the National Cathedral. So, all right, guys, thanks for joining. See you next time.